Hey guys, Clover here, and today we are doing a pretty simple tutorial. In fact, this is only for one command, just a single one, but it's kind of an important one for most minigames, high scores. You want to see who has the highest score, you know, or maybe you want to see my highest scores. So I do a quick run and then I get 5,000 feet and then I die, and then if that's my furthest I've ever got, that gets to be my high score, which you can actually accomplish that with one command. So let's check this out. So first I have two scoreboards, score and high score. So you're going to want a scoreboard for high scores to store people's high scores. You can make it however you want. In fact, in 1.13, you can do some spicy stuff with colors by putting stuff in here, by going like blah blah blah, text, ooh, shoot. If you want to have like a custom name, because see this is for the name that you use in commands. This is for the name that gets displayed when you see it. You can do like a custom name for like high score, like that. And then you can add even color, which is cool. So we can do color, and then we can add green, which that would be real spicy. So remove high score. All right, sorry about that. I had to resize my window. So if I click this, it'll create the two scoreboards. So we created high score, and we created score, which is cool. So now we can view the score in the sidebar by setting it to the sidebar. Now this is just what I'm going to use to look at it. So we got this, and we got the high score. And as you can see, it's green with all caps, just like we put it in here, color green. Cool. That's just the side thing. That's not what this is about. So here's our high score. Here's our score. Score is 0. High score is 0. So we play the game. This one is cookie clicker. Just joking. But basically, that's all I have going on here. So I click this button, and I click it 3 times. Okay, I make it 3. So then after the game ends, I can click this button to get the high score. So see, high score 0, score is 3. Click this button, high score is now 3, score is 3. Now let me click this button to reset my score, because say I lost, I don't know, somehow you lose cookie clicker. And now my score is 0, but my high score is still 3. If I click this button, this command that I have going on here, again, as you can see, my high score still says 3, my score still says 0. So this will only update my high score if my score is bigger than my high score. So let's get to a higher score than 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so now my score is 4, which is bigger than 3. 4 is bigger than 3, so I'm going to do this, and now my new high score is 4. Reset again, 0, 4, do this. 0 is not bigger than 4, so it keeps at 4. Now, all this logic I'm telling you is exactly what goes on in this command. It's a simple command. It's an operation, scoreboard players operations, of a previous video on scoreboards in 1.13, and I go over operations briefly, but here's an operation scoreboard, and it is doing high score greater than score. So what this does is it checks, is high score bigger than, well, it's kind of opposite logic, okay? So is the score bigger than the high score? If the score is bigger than the high score, then it puts score onto high score. The way that operation works is the first thing is what you're putting things on, the middle is your operation, the right thing is the things you are taking from. So it may look like high score greater than score, but what it's actually doing is score greater than high score, just because of the way that you have to put things in. So when you see this, if you see this greater, you have to put, when you're reading this logic, when you're reading the operation, read this thing as the left, this as your operator, and this as the right. So if that were an equal sign, we would have score equals high score. And what score equals high score, if I put in equals here, it makes the high score equal to your score, okay? If I put a times equals, then it would take the score, multiply it by the high score, and set it on the high score. It would be score times high score equals high score. Okay, so the right side, the right thing is what this, oh no, okay, whatever. Anyway, so we'll just type it. Scoreboard, players, operation, at P, high score, greater than, at P, score, okay? And this will be in the description if you somehow can't just type that, so easy. Anyway, so score greater than high score. So what it does is it takes the score, looks, is this score greater than high score? If this is true, then high score gets set to score, okay? That's just how this thing works. So as you saw when I was testing it, if my score is 0, my high score is 4. Is score bigger than high score? False. So it does not set your high score to be equal to a score because it's false. But when my score got to 4, if my score is at 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's look at this logic. So my score is 5. 5 is bigger than high score, true, which means my high score will be set to my score, which is exactly what will happen right here. Boom, now it's 5. All right, that's how it works. Now, if you might have guessed, there's also this one, which means if I change this to a less than, then that means if my score is less than my high score, then it will set to my high score, which is not what you want for a high score system, but it might be what you want for something else. So that's pretty cool. So that's pretty much all there is to this one. High score thing with one command. You can play this every time they get a point if you want to constantly update the high score, or you can just play it at the end. I'm going to play it at the end of, say, my zombies game mode. So what I'll do is I'll take the players that are in that game, set their score for some, like, oh, we made it to this wave, boom, put that on a score, then check if that's bigger than their high score for waves, and with this one command, just check that, and then if it is, then boom, they got a new high score. Cool. Simple. So one command for high scores. Set high score. One command, high score, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Let's talk about some other things because this is a short video. Scoreboard, players operation, at P, high score. Now, there's some other ones you can do. I went in the videos for scoreboard operations, which I'll link in the description. There is stuff that talks about all these other ones, but it doesn't really talk about these three. So you have greater than, equal to. The last one is these double arrows. Double arrows mean that it will swap them. So if I do this, what it'll do is it'll take my score and swap it with my high score. So if my score is 0 and my high score is 4, my high score will be 0 and my score will be 4, which is, you know, really obscure. Like, you're probably never going to use that. But if you do, it could be useful for doing math-related stuff. If you want to put something in certain places to swap them and whatnot, that could be useful, you know? But anyways, guys, that's it for this one. Hopefully you guys are having a great day, and hopefully you can get some cool stuff made. Anyways, guys, see you in the next one. Peace.